So let's sit together, and Daddy and Lyle will be on the behind us.
I want to sit at the back.
I want to sit at the back. There goes another one.
Enter the reserve at Little Aturi Forest. The animals in this area can sometimes be a little bit harder to see because they blend into their forest home.
Lumot.
Little tricky to see them. I'm going to try to get you a better view up ahead. On the right, there's a large dark brown animal with white stripes on its legs to the right. This animal is called an okapi. A lot of people think okapi are related to zebras because they have similar stripes on their legs, but they're actually the forest cousin of the giraffe.
Oh, really?
Very shy and elusive, okapi were not discovered by the Western world till about 1901. Unusually late for such a large animal. Over to the left, we've got a black rhinoceros in the water. Somebody's been rolling in the mud today. Now, a fully grown black rhino like him is going to weigh about 3,000 pounds. He can also run at up to 30 miles an hour.
Whoa.
They look indestructible, but they've been hit really hard by poaching. There are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in all the world today. There is some good news for black rhinos. Conservationists are working together with local people to monitor black rhino populations. Got a second black rhino to the left. This one's taking a nap. They're also training those local people to assist in the emergency vet care and rehabilitation of black rhinos, and rarely seen.
I didn't get one. I missed
Got
it.
some, Gil.
You were in my way.
Hey, you get on this side, and I get on this side.
All right.
I love it.
Over to the left, you're going to see a couple of big black and white birds called saddle-billed stork. One of Africa's tallest storks, saddle-billed stork, can be up to 5 feet tall and have up to a 9-foot wingspan. We're going to make our way to the south. Does make hippos nocturnal. They tend to be their most active during the night.
They said it's difficult to find. You might not find it.
Hippos in the water to the left. Not the best swimmers, but hippos can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. Most of the time when you see hippos moving in the water, they're just walking on the bottom of the river. Also to the left, you'll see pink-backed pelicans. Now the girl pelicans choose their boyfriend based on who brings them the nicest looking stick. That stick will then go on to become the foundation of the pelican's nest. So instead of a ring, she gets a house. Crocodile can grow up to 20 feet in length, weigh almost 1,000 pounds, and get the Nile part of their name because they were discovered in the Nile River. And you'll see more of these trees scattered throughout the savannah.
Like, look at that.
Baobab trees do remain leafless for about 9 months out of the year. And during the rainy season, not only do they grow leaves, now there are 9 different types of giraffe found throughout Africa. Type of giraffe you're going to be seeing are called Masai Giraffe. Masai Giraffe are known for their beautiful reddish brown color and lacy look to their patch pattern. Now the 2 giraffe in the middle of the group here are both baby giraffe. They're little girls. They're between 8 and 9 months old. They're still considered babies because they still nurse from their mamas and will do so until they're almost a year old. They'll then be the giraffe equivalent to teenagers till they're fully grown at the age of 4. Big brown cow, great big giant horns, is an Ankoli cow. I see more of her herd up ahead. They also go by the name Watusi, called painted dogs, also known as the African wild dog and the African hunting dog. One of the most successful hunters on the planet. Teamwork is the key to their success. In the dog family, painted dogs are most closely related to foxes. They even have a big bushy tail like a fox does. Sadly, they're critically endangered. There's Beautiful sable brown color. Those are the girls. The boys get bigger. The boys also get darker and darker as they age. More of the Ankole cattle here on the left. The cows are the brown and white ones. The solid brown one is the bull. Those horns do for the cattle what a radiator does for a car. Those horns help to cool the cattle's blood down on hot days so that they don't overheat.
Let's take a picture of this one here.
The strange looking cones of earth popping up everywhere are termite mounds, but not the kind of termites that eat your house. African termites spend most of their lifetime inside those mounds. Now the mounds are made out of dirt and termite saliva. Baked in the hot African sun, those mounds become as hard as concrete. There's those two baby giraffe over to our right. Now when baby giraffe are born, mama giraffe does not lay down to give birth. Baby giraffe drop from an approximate 5-foot height. Thankfully, they're really tough babies, and by the time they're about an hour old, they are up and following mom around.
Wow.
The name giraffe is actually Arabic in origin. Loosely translated to English, giraffe means one who walks with grace. The hillier parts of the reserve. Zebras are members of the equine family. That means they're related to animals like horses and donkeys. Also on the right, the gray animals are the wildebeest. Wildebeest are part of one of the largest animal migrations left on Earth. When wildebeest migrate across the Serengeti, their herds number in the tens of thousands. While the small tan black and white gazelles at the top of the hill to the right are the Springbok, and that's as big as they're ever going to get. They usually weigh about 70 to 100 pounds. They can spring 10 feet in the air to get away from a predator. Springbok can also run at 50 miles an hour. They may be little, but they're very athletic animals. Mandrills are Africa's largest monkey. Big males like the one sitting on the rock can weigh about 100 pounds. Mandrills are omnivores. That means they'll eat anything. Plants, bugs, small animals if they can catch them. Okay, let me get you a better view of this young elephant over here. Now he's not even half grown yet. He weighs just shy of 5,000 and 13,000 pounds. Girls are about half that size, weighing between 6,000 and 8,000 pounds. He's just enjoying a bit of a rest on that pile of dirt. Researchers can travel pretty far, and one elephant can be talking to another elephant up to 5 miles away.
Wow.
The really cool part, not only do elephants listen for those sounds with their ears, but they can also pick up the vibration of the sound from the ground with their feet. So elephants listen with their ears and their feet. Well, here's part of his herd. This is actually his big sister. She is about 15 years old now. I kind of equate her to being like a high school kid. She's not quite a grown-up yet. Another year or two, that'll change.
Like ate.
Herds of elephants are made up of females and their youngsters, and for the most part, all the females in a herd will be related to each other because mothers and daughters often spend their whole lifetime together. The boys, on the other hand, get kicked out of the herd when they hit their mid to late teens for getting too pushy. The boys will then either live on their own or more likely hang out with a bunch of other boys. Let's see here, I've got big sister and baby sister here. Baby sister is about 4.5 years old. She's not going to be a baby for much longer. They usually stop nursing from mom around the age of 5. That's her big sister to the right of her. She's about 11 years old. She's kind of like a middle school, junior high kid, and then that's their mom over by the baobab tree. I'm going to get you a better view of her in just a moment. Now, elephants are considered babies until they're about 5 years of age when they stop nursing from their moms. Then they become adolescents or juveniles till their mid to late teens when they reach adulthood. That's our big male giraffe over to the right, nibbling on that tree there. That's a lovely picture of him. He's a handsome boy. Those two little baby girls we saw earlier are his daughters. He makes beautiful babies. Elephants can live into their 70s, although 55 to 65 is a bit more common for an elephant. I believe the record was a female that lived to be 74. And here's Mom. Just enjoying a nice mid-morning snack. Elephants, by the way, can eat anywhere between 200 and 300 pounds of plants every single day. The bigger the elephant, more they eat. Coming up on our left, we've got greater flamingo, the largest but lightest pink of all flamingo species. And yes, those are baby flamingos that you're seeing, the little gray fuzzballs. They range in age from about a week old up to about a month old. They grow quite a bit in those first couple of months. They'll be fully grown by the time they're about 9 months old to a year old, but they won't get their full pink coloration till they're almost 2 years old. You might notice some of the larger flamingos have gray heads. Those are actually flamingos that hatched out last summer.
Oh,
So fully grown, but not fully pink. At least not yet.
It's eggs. It's getting the eggs. I think they hatched it. Look at that.
Tricky to see. Let me see if I can pull up where I can get you a decent view. Way back on the hill to the left where it goes from green to brown. About halfway up that back hill in the back, there's a cheetah laying there. Look for the yellow on the dark brown. That's going to be her. Fastest land animals, cheetahs can run at speeds of over 60 miles an hour, but only for short distances. Guinness Book of World Record clocked a cheetah at 72 miles an hour. I get a little bit better view over here as I pull up. Way back on the hill as it slopes up. Look for that yellow on the brown.
Yes, I'm gonna lay down.
Cheetah are one of the smaller big cats. They usually only weigh about 100 pounds. Any heavier than that, they wouldn't be able to run at the speeds they do. You should be able to see her really good there now. And then I'm going to have another one coming up real close here on the left. Also laying down.
This one is nearer.
Cheetah are the only big cats that do not have retractable claws. When you look at a cheetah paw, it's a lot like looking at a dog's paw, and that aids in traction when they're running at high speed.
There's more over there.
In the bushes here to the right, I've got some shaggy-coated brown and white antelope called waterbuck. Get their name because you'll usually find them around sources of water. They have really oily fur, and the oils in their fur help to make them water repellent. It's kind of like wearing a raincoat all the time, except it doesn't make you sweat. Rocky outcropping on our left is called a kopie. You'll see these scattered throughout the savanna. A lot of different animals like to hang out near kopies. They like to hop up on the rocks and use them as a lookout post. Tusks to root up the dirt, dig nice big burrows that they'll use to sleep in. Like most members of the pig family, warthogs are really smart animals. One closest to us is a girl. Actually, those are both girls. There's a male somewhere around there. He hangs out with both of them. He's a bit bigger than they are. He's also got bigger, longer tusks. Very difficult to get into. The shell can be up to a 1/4 inch thick. Wow. Apparently, mom and dad ostrich can be a wee bit clumsy when they go. For their small body size, they're capable of producing quite a bit of milk. Some farmers in Africa are actually switching from larger livestock like cattle, which can be expensive to maintain, to smaller livestock like goats. Goats don't need as much room. They're pretty hardy and fairly easy to take care of, and they'll eat any kind of vegetation. Any milk the family doesn't consume can be sold at market. Goat's milk's actually healthier for you than cow's milk. It's lower in fat, higher in protein, and does not have lactose.